On my trading goals this year, 2026, the year coming up, I've spent the last few days looking at different firms. I like to take advantage of the prop firm space a lot more this year with trading. But there's a lot of options and it's a bit confusing. I kind of went back and forth. There's three main ones that I'm looking at. So Topstep I've had experience with, took a payout not too long ago with them on a funded account that I had, which unfortunately I've blown now. The balance after I took the payout was quite low, and I got sort of chopped up when gold had a big drop the other day and lost that account. But that's okay. It's you know, the cost was so small compared to the payout I took, so it was well worth it anyway. And that's just, I feel like that's probably the nature of these prop firms, is to sort of look at it more as a return on investment as opposed to a long-term account necessarily. So I've been looking at different options, and I think the three that I've sort of settled on, that I keep going back and forth on, is Apex, TakeProfit Trader, and of course Topstep. I've only really had an experience with Topstep, and the reason I'm looking at these other two is Apex has a huge sale on at the moment, 90% off. Looking into it more though, there's a few things about the evaluations and the payout policy and different things that I'm not too sure about. The trailing drawdown's a massive thing for me. I think whilst I could probably adapt my strategy to fit that, basically taking profit at the first area of you know, resistance or support, the first sort of trouble area, taking profit. You just have to take profit all the time and not let unrealized gains get out of control with those trailing drawdowns. It appears, because I haven't actually done one of these accounts. But it just adds another layer of difficulty to the process. It's already difficult enough to be consistent as a trader. I think the trailing drawdown makes it more difficult, especially for my style. I wouldn't say that I'm a scalper. I would say that I look for bigger ideas to play out, and so I'm not adverse to letting something pull back, test a demand area or a supply area, and then move on from there, manage my risk as the trade goes in my favor. I don't think that would suit a trailing drawdown very well, and I don't particularly want to adjust my trading approach that I know can work for me, or does work for me. I don't really want to adjust that now that I've sort of got that dialed in. So as cheap as it is and as interesting as it is, I'm sort of hesitant with Apex because of that reason. TakeProfit Trader was the other one I was looking at because I have daily payouts, but the only thing about that is, again, there's a trail drawdown once you get into the funded account, which makes it even more difficult in my opinion. And then you've got to meet a balance threshold. I think it's 2,500. I need to probably double check. You've got to reach a balance threshold before you can actually take withdrawals above that level. So whilst daily payouts are nice, you know, if I had a funded Topstep account, I could take, if I got my account to 2,500 with how I trade, that would probably be 5 winning trading days anyway, and then I could just withdraw the funds, you know, or withdraw half of it. So the thing I like about TakeProfit Trader and Apex is I can link them up with Motive Wave. So I use Motive Wave mostly for my charting and looking at order flow, volume, cumulative delta, different things that I like to use with my strategy that I can't use with Topstep. So to be able to link these up and trade directly through Motive Wave, which you used to be able to do with Topstep, and you can't anymore because they just use their platform, would be nice, but I don't think the trade-off is high enough for me to have to execute on Topstep and use Motive Wave for my charting. Whilst it's a bit of jumping back and forth, the trade-off is getting involved in one of these firms with a intraday trailing drawdown. I don't think it's worth it for the fact of having to juggle a couple of platforms. I think it would just probably dampen my trading too much. So I'm kind of leaning back towards, well, I have moved back towards the idea of just getting more express funded accounts set up with Topstep. So they had a little bit of a sale over Christmas, so I picked up a couple of combines. I've got 2 going here at the moment. One is very close to, I've been trading that the last couple of days, so that's a couple of hundred off getting funded, so hopefully I can get that funded tomorrow. Just a couple of trades on that. And then the other one, which I recorded a couple of videos and I'll put up from today, just took a couple of trades on this one today. So it's up a little bit, and I'll trade that over the next few days, see if I can get that funded. The idea, I think, for me is to have at least, the goal would be to have 2 to 3 funded accounts with Topstep, and then really dial risk back and just shoot for, 200 a day, something like that. And potentially copy trade, or I might split them up as, one account dedicated to the Asian session, one account dedicated to London session. I'm probably leaning more towards that so I can diversify my risk, just in case one does take some drawdown. You don't really want all of your XFAs taking drawdown. So I'll probably split it up. I'll try and get 2 to 3 funded accounts, and then I'll trade, dedicate one to Asia, one to London, and then maybe copy trade another one to one of those if I get more than 2. But that's going to be the goal, I think. Just get a few of those XFAs linked up. I don't really see any other prop firms that I'm interested in at the moment, just because of that trailing drawdown. I did look at Apex. They do have a static account, so I did look at the static account. I think it's a 100k static account, which I could set up with Rhythmic, so I could trade that on 625 as a static drawdown, which is nice. It's not a lot of risk to have, but the idea there would be you'd take one of two approaches. You'd either set up the account and try to have a big win first off, to take a very high probability trade and scale up and try and build yourself a buffer straight away, or which is what I would, or what I would probably do is just trade one micro, really scale back until you build the buffer up above sort of 12, 1300, and then you can start increasing size from there. So yeah, but looking at their payout policies, I don't know, it just doesn't seem all that favorable compared to Topstep. I understand the argument of, you can link 20 accounts up together, but to be honest, if I got 5 XFAs set up with Topstep and I took a 5k payout, across all of those accounts, I'd be making 25k US, which is like 38,000 Australian. So if I did that in a month, I'd be happy with that, right? So I think I'll stick with Topstep. I think I'll stick with Topstep. So I think I'll stick with Topstep at this stage. And just trade these combine and see how it goes. Unfortunately, I blew the XFA I had. I was pretty close to a payout, had a couple of positive days for a second payout, but then gold had a big drop and I got chopped up a bit, and I was trading small, but the moves were so large that it was just reducing that capital pretty quickly, and I got stopped out. But that's okay. Paid 130 for that account, and I took a $1,300 payout for that account, so that was well worth it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to record a couple of videos and document seeing how many XFAs I can get funded in the next few weeks. I'm not really I think I won't really touch them as they get funded. I think I'll leave them there and then start trading them once I've got probably 3 funded, at least 2, so I can split them up Asia, London. And then I'll start trading them sort of at the same time, because I want to sort of trade them all around the same time to try and take payouts across them all around the same time. In the event that I do go live at some point with them, it's going to reduce my ability to take payouts from those XFAs. So see what happens. If anyone's got any thoughts on any other suggestions, any other firms or anything that avoids that trailing drawdown, let me know, because I am still looking at different options, especially if I can trade with Motive Wave. If I could link something up with Motive Wave that didn't have a trailing drawdown, that would be ideal. And it's not 1,000 different rules to try and get a payout as well. So we'll just continue on with Topstep for now. And the other thing about it as well is with these prop firms, and I was skeptical as well, you don't actually know until you take a payout and the funds hit your account, right? So I took a payout and the funds were in my account. I think it was 4 or 5 days later. It was an international transfer because I'm in Australia, but it hit my bank account, right? So 1,300 in my account. I could use that money. So at least I know, and it's been proven to me that if I just trade the way that I trade and try and scale up with my funding size instead of trying to take more risk on an account to try and get 3 or 4 XFAs going at the same time, then I can take bigger payouts without taking more risk. That's the goal, that's the idea. So we'll see how it goes over the next month or so. And yeah, hopefully we can get some more payouts.